It's the Rokan Show on WGN. Sylvia Perez is with me, and it turns out Sylvia Perez, you know her, love her for many years on Chicago television, and Sylvia is a beautiful, elegant woman who is very sophisticated, and yet, yes. she has an AOL account.
I have an AOL account, and my teenage daughters make fun of me about it all the time.
Yes.
And I didn't get what was wrong with it. I still don't get it, Ro. Explain it to me, will you?
Well, I'm going to explain it in just a second. I'm actually not going to explain. I'm going to have somebody else who knows a lot more about it explain it. But I have the exact same problem. Mm-hmm. I, too, am a startlingly elegant man, and I consider myself to be very young at heart.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I'm a
fun-loving,
youngish kind of 50-year-old. And my daughter, in her mid-20s, same thing. She's like, "Are you an idiot, Dad?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You are a loser." And, my fiance, same thing. She actually she said actually to me when I told her what my email account was, she goes, "How old are you?"
I just don't get it. I'm sure you have a lot of listeners out there right now who have AOL accounts.
Yes. It's because it was the first one that I had. And I have a Gmail, I have a Hotmail, I have a Yahoo, I've got all these corporate accounts for all the places that I work. But the one that I know, and I remember the password to, is the AOL account.
Do you know why I still have mine? Like, it's pretty. I like the pictures at the top, right?
On the AOL homepage?
It's pretty. My Gmail account is boring. My AOL account makes me happy when I call it up.
Oh, my gosh. Take the girl out of Oklahoma. I've said this to you before.
Yes, you have.
Yes, that's because when you go to AOL, it is almost like designed for people who don't have communication with the outside world.
What did you call it earlier? What town? Bug Tussle.
Bug Tussle. It's like for people from Bug Tussle. And I when I go to the page, because I have to go to it every day to get my email, which I'm also getting on my iPhone. But here's the point: is that Apple is no longer going to support control accounts from AOL. Now, what does that actually mean? Andy Anatko from the Chicago Sun-Times is standing by. He's the tech guru there. And all right, so for example, if I have an iTunes account, which runs my phone, runs my music, and all the other purchases I do through the Apple platform, and I try to control that with an AOL email address, they're no longer going to do that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not that complicated. All that's happening is it looks like America Online, not Apple, is terminating this service because, I mean, for God's sake, Apple is like a $750 million company, and little AOL is now giving them like free service for something that they need. No way. So all that the AOL sign-in does is to identify you to Apple, so that when you buy stuff on iTunes, they know who to charge and what devices to send it to. All that's going to happen is that the next time you log into your iTunes account or your iCloud account for your files and your photos, Apple's going to say, "Oh, by the way, you can't log in this way after March 31st. Let's convert you to a brand new free iCloud account, and everything will work perfectly fine. All the stuff you bought will still be the stuff you bought. You just won't be logging in using your AOL.com email address."
Okay, I have one little problem, Andy. I have I guess I know my iTunes password.
Right.
That's the important one, right? To know your iTunes password, because I already have. Once you have iTunes, they give you.
Yeah, don't you already have an Apple ID if you have to have an iTunes password, right?
Yeah, you can log in using either one, but there are a lot of people who have been using Apple services for a long time. That back in 2003, 2004, when Apple started letting you sign in using America Online, they maybe have never created an iTunes account or an iCloud account before. So this is a way of basically walking everybody through the process of, look, you had a really good run with.
Stop laughing!
54. I'm not laughing. If it works for you, go with God. I'm so supportive of you.
Wait, why is it bad?
You're walking down the street. You see a guy with a bow tie. You say, "Wow, I have not seen a bow tie in years. God, I'm glad to see this person."
Oh, come on now. Okay, can I ask a question about AOL? It's sort of like, there is this theory amongst people like myself that, hey, it's going to come back, man. I mean, AOL is going to be the retro thing, and I know there's a ton of people who still have AOL accounts, and there was a little bit of a hipster factor to some of them about, hey, like, I don't care. I'm gonna be countercultural. I don't care about my Gmail. Is AOL going away?
They are. The thing is, they have a lot of users who are just like you. And all kidding aside, if something works for somebody, and they're not like my daily concerns are not about how do I get better email and how do I leverage my phone to work with my watch. They have an email account that works fine. They're paying amount of money. They're perfectly fine. They're fine with. Great, keep on working, and they've got enough users that they can sort of sustain themselves that way. I don't know if they're going to last much longer, because I think inevitably what's going to happen is that a company maybe like Apple, maybe like Google, or even a company you've never heard of is going to look at all of AOL's assets and all their lists of users and say, gosh, that would be handy for our company, and then just write a big honking check that AOL's board can't turn down.
Isn't it interesting? I will bet you, in terms of, does AOL know how many active email accounts they have? Because I'll bet you that there are millions of Americans who have AOL accounts who've forgotten about them.
Yeah, and because they're using recurring billing, there are a lot of people who just don't understand why they're still getting billed for still getting billed like that $8 or $9 or $10 a month. A couple of years ago, I think their numbers of users was down to about 20 million or so. It's probably a lot less since then. Really, I think they are one real close scrutiny of your credit card account away from saying, "Oh my God, I didn't realize I was still paying for that."
Am I still paying for that?
If you signed up for a paying plan, you might still be being charged for that.
I signed up for a free plan when they went to free.
Then you probably now have a free plan. There are some people who have been complaining that they are still being charged. I don't know what the status of that is right now. But again, you're not wrong for doing that. I held on to America Online for years after I stopped using it, and I'll tell you why. I am so old school that I was one of the first testers of the America Online service. My email address was andy@aol.com. And it's like having one of those low number license plates. It's like, I have to keep this license plate because otherwise it's cool to have cool to have an America Online address that's only 4 digits.
That's so funny.
He said cool.
Very cool. And that means, let's see, are we still paying for our MySpace account too, Ro?
Oh, I didn't know. I never went there. I missed the entire MySpace moment.
I heard that might be coming back.
Okay.
Andy?
It actually is.
See?
Because they can't now be they can't now be Facebook anymore, but what they can be is a really easy way for like bands to be able to promote their gigs and put their music online. So they're actually doing pretty okay for a smaller sort of business.
I'm really worried about my AOL account now. I don't know what to do about it. All right, Andy, thank you so much. Andy Anatko from the Chicago Sun-Times. Appreciate your time as always, sir. And
nice talking to you.
You
don't want to give it up.
I'm afraid because it's everything. Yeah. I've given it to all of the important, it's stupid because, I'll call up and I'll make a reservation somewhere, with a hotel or, with a credit card or whatever it is. Oh, what's your email address? And I'll say at AOL.com, and then they'll say, what? Or I'll hear laughter in the background.
Snickering in the background. Right.
Like, okay. Okay, sir.
Hey, Jane, get a load of this one.
Right. And it's like, and I'm calling India. And they're like, what? Actually, sometimes when you call a call center in India, they're like, I don't understand. What? Say that again. AOL. I have not heard of this.
I don't know. I think there's more of us out there than you think.
I hope so.
I think there is. Like I said, it's a pretty homepage.
Oh man. You doubled down on this because that is not my defense of it. It's because I've been using it forever.
No, that's definitely
not because it's pretty. Because when you look at it, you're like, what?
No, they do have some pretty funny things on there, but no, I'm keeping mine. I'm going with it. It may go by way of 8-track, but I'm holding on to it as long as I can. There's
like 40 stories where the slideshow thing where it goes by, and everything's a tease. Yes. Why is this man missing his eyeballs? It's like, I don't know. I better click and find out.
Exactly. Get distracted, do you?